The Harwich Mariners look to claim their first win streak of the season tonight at Veterans Field against the Chatham Anglers. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Foley alongside my broadcast partner, Colin Casey. And it's so interesting, Colin, that this team is yet to have a win streak, meaning 3 or more games won consecutively. But even still, this is a Harwich team that has looked excellent over its past 10 games, 7-1-2. What can you say about the way that this team has really come into its own these past 2 weeks of the season?
Well, it's been both the offense and the pitching that has come alive over the last week or so. We saw it yesterday. It was the pitching that took over in the 4-1 win over Falmouth. The bullpen outstanding, retiring each of the last 15 batters Harwich pitchers faced in that game. And, of course, 2 nights before, the offense got it done with 15 runs, the most scored in 11 years for the Harwich Mariners. But this is a favorable matchup for them to get that 3rd consecutive win because they've been so good against the Anglers this year. 3-0 against Chatham. Most importantly, they've held Chatham hitters to a 130 batting average this season. That is outstanding stuff. And they got a great guy on the mound to keep that going in Eric Raiselman. And not only that, they're facing a pitcher that they're also very familiar with as they beat them the last time they came here to Veterans Field.
That's right. That's Tanner Witt, who's currently on the bump for the Anglers. Last time out against the Mariners in his first Cape League start. Pitched 4 complete innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs. Each was earned, walked 3, and struck out 4. The Mariners going to look to keep him off balance here in his second start in an Anglers uniform. As let's introduce you to the defense here for the Anglers as they still are working the infield. Doing the catching today for the pitcher, Tanner Witt, is going to be Dominic Temez. Playing over at first, Lyle Miller-Green. Over at second, Danny Soretti. Shortstop will be Josh Rivera. Third baseman, Kenny Lavari. Left fielder, Garrett Martin. Center fielder, Jake DeLeo. And right fielder, Matt Hogan today for the Anglers. That is their defense. We'll run down the Mariners lineup in just a minute. But first, to lead it off, you have the center fielder, Chris Newell. Newell has been playing excellent as of late for Harwich and really the entire season. Newell on the year, batting .275. On-base percentage sitting at about .310. He takes the first pitch at 93 miles an hour for a ball. Newell in that leadoff spot that has traditionally belonged to Tatum Levens. Levens is out of the lineup tonight. Newell is going to step in, and as mentioned, he's been hitting well. He's been able to get on base rather efficiently. In fact, had a 2-run knock last time he was here at Veterans Field last week to help secure an 8-2 victory over the Anglers. Going to look to continue having that success here tonight. Tanner Witt behind in the count, 2-0. 2-0 pitch misses outside. It's now 3-0, and Chris Newell 1 pitch away from being the leadoff man on first.
Newell was actually 0 for 4 yesterday, but he had multi-hit games in the prior 2 contests. So like you said, Tim, really picking it up over the last couple of games.
He swings on a 3-0 count, can't find any of it. 90 miles an hour gets by Newell. Count now moves to 3-1.
Of course, the big swing coming here in Chatham, July 12th. A big insurance 2-run bomb onto the hill out in right center field.
The 3-1 pitch. That will miss outside. Leadoff man is on 5 pitches from the righty Tanner Witt out of Texas.
Yeah, never a good sign if you're a pitcher to walk the leadoff man to begin the ball game, but credit to Chris Newell. Showing a lot of patience. I was a little surprised to see him swing 3-0. He did get a good pitch to hit, but great way to start this one for the Mariners. Again, team that has had so much success against Chatham this season. A big reason why, plate discipline.
Now you have Press Kavanaugh as the pickoff attempt over at first is unsuccessful. Newell is able to get back up safely. Press Kavanaugh stepping in the lefty batter's box. Another guy for these Mariners who had a 2-run blast in that victory over Chatham. First pitch to Kavanaugh. That's in for a strike. Witt's ahead 0-1. Kavanaugh across his last 5 has been electric. 6 for 13, batting .462. 3 runs, 4 RBI, including a home run in that span. He has really come alive this second half of the season that's been played to this point. As Newell dives back to first on another pickoff attempt. Still only 1 pitch into Kavanaugh so far. It's an 0-1 count here to the lefty out of UNCG. Mariners wearing their navy blues with red lettering, white trim. Kavanaugh fouls one back. Chatham in their pinstripe whites. Anglers across the front in blue cursive lettering, red numerals on the front, blue numerals on the back, and the blue caps as well to boot. It's an 0-2 count here to Press Kavanaugh. Witt stares in, nods, delivers. Kavanaugh looked like he wanted to hesitate, but he followed through. And down on strikes is Press Kavanaugh. One strikeout for Witt so far.
Yeah, got him with the breaking ball down in the dirt. Kavanaugh unable to lay off. Big bounce back out for Witt after walking the leadoff man, especially for the guy who has done so much damage against the Anglers this season coming to the plate.
It's not exactly going to get easier because you now have Brock Wilken stepping up to bat. Wilken across his last 5, batting .300, 6 for 20, 5 RBI, 3 runs. Pickoff attempt again to Newell on first is unsuccessful. Wilken has just been fantastic, and again, the third guy now to homer against Chatham in that game. The first 3 batters here, each of them had those 2-run home runs against Chatham a week ago. Wilken, top of the league in a couple of big categories as he falls behind 0-1 here. He is currently, he's technically he is third in batting average right now, but Colin Davis, who was with Brewster, who was batting .420, has since departed, so he will eventually be no longer eligible to be atop that stat as Newell goes for second. Ball gets away from Tamez behind the plate, and so Newell takes second.
Great jump there from Newell. Pitch missed outside. A little kind of trigger happy was Tamez behind the plate, ready to throw him out, but he couldn't squeeze it at first, and now a golden RBI opportunity for the most prolific batter with runners in scoring position in the Cape League this season.
The 1-1 pitch misses low and away from Wilken, and we've seen that a few times, it feels, this season, where catchers will be very trigger happy, as you put it, Colin, to try and pick a guy off who maybe has too big of a lead off of first, or who's, of course, going down to second, and they just let the ball fly out of their hands behind them before they actually get the throw off, as the 2-1 pitch misses again low and away. Count is 3-1.
Yeah, very common to see a lot of pitchers miss low and away to Wilken. That's one area where they know is kind of a safe spot when pitching to Wilken. Low and outside, he has a little bit of trouble getting to that ball, but we'll see what happens here on 3-1.
Witt staring back at Newell. No infielders on the bag. Wilken pulls one to left field. That's going to get down. Newell's going to come around third to score. Wilken's going to roll into second. And it is a 1-out RBI double for Brock Wilken, putting the Mariners up 1-0.
I think Chatham manager Tom Holliday's seen enough of Brock Wilken this season. It's incredible what he's done, not only, of course, all throughout the Cape League this year, but specifically against the Anglers. He had a grand slam the first game these two teams met. First inning, 2-run bomb the last game here at Veterans Field, and now an RBI double in the top of the first inning. He has just been an Angler killer this season.
Particularly in these first innings, each of those instances.
That's right.
I believe Wilken's grand slam may have been in the second inning.
No, I believe it was the first.
You know what? You may be right. We'll have to double check that. But even still, Brock Wilken early in these games against Chatham has been an absolute killer, as he now stands on second, an RBI credited to his name already today. This brings up Carter Putz, the first baseman for the Mariners today. He steps into the righty batter's box, 22 splayed across his back.
We were both wrong, Tim. Third inning, actually.
Third inning. I had a feeling it wasn't the first, even still, though.
Yeah.
Putz hits a chopper on the ground, picked up by the third baseman Lavari. Throw to first base. Lyle Miller-Green makes the catch, 2 away.
An important out. Great play by Lavari, who's a recent acquisition for the Anglers, making sure to look at second and keep Wilken there before firing across the diamond to get Putz out. And, you know, with 2 away, runner at second, runner at third, not necessarily a huge difference on a base hit. Most guys can score on contact from second, but we'll see just how important that play was.
Lavari, this is his first game as an Angler, hailing from Old Dominion, the Violin, New Jersey native. First pitch swinging from Dylan Phillips. Another guy who is new to the Cape League, made his debut yesterday against Falmouth, came home to score one of those 4 runs the Mariners had. Looking to continue his success today from the DH spot. That ball gets down in the dirt. Let's take a moment to run down the Mariners starting lineup. Of course, you had Chris Newell leading off, Press Kavanaugh batting second, Brock Wilken batting third, Carter Putz batting fourth. Here you have Dylan Phillips batting fifth, the shortstop Josh Hood bats sixth, catcher Brendan Tinsman bats seventh, the left fielder Jake Lazaro bats eighth, and the second baseman Matt McDermott bats ninth. McDermott, another new addition. Swing and a miss on 1-1 from Phillips. Count moves to 1-2.
Good RBI opportunity here for Phillips, but Witt doing a nice job going right after him despite Phillips being such a power threat. We know what he can do with the crazy power numbers. 4th all-time at Kansas State in career home runs.
1-2 pitch just on the outside. Misses 2-2. And just to kind of put a cap on what Brock Wilken has done against these Anglers, he's 6 for 15 against them on the season. 2 home runs, 7 RBI.
Those are some Ted Williams numbers that you're putting up against one team.
Of course, your Brock, you're having enough success against everybody this league this summer, but wouldn't it be nice to face off against Chatham every day the way he's playing them? Phillips fouls off. Then he'll come down in foul territory to the right of the Mariners dugout. And fans swarm thereafter. It's a 2-2 count here to Phillips. Brock Wilken still stands on second base after his 1-out RBI double to drive in Chris Newell, who got on with a leadoff walk.
It's also Wilken's CCBL best 8th double of the season, breaking a tie with Knapsick for Bourne.
Yeah, we talked about it. He has been excellent. Phillips leans into one, chopper to second, Soretti on to first, and that will end the inning. Brock Wilken does it again. RBI double to put the Mariners up 1 after a half inning of play. We bring you the home half of action here from Veterans Field in just a moment. Don't go too far. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network.
During this game, profanity, racial or
Welcome into the home half of action here from Veterans Field. The Anglers get a chance to respond to what Harwich has already put on the board, a 1-0 lead for the Mariners after Brock Wilken drove around Chris Newell. Leading off will be Danny Soretti for Chatham. He'll be tasked with facing off against Eric Raiselman. Raiselman, a guy who is making his case for the Mariners' ace position right now. He has been excellent in his past few games. He's ahead in the count 0-1. Just to give you a bit of a taste, in his last start against Brewster, pitched 5 complete innings, went hitless, did not allow a single hit, struck out more than half the batters he faced, struck out 9 batters in that outing, only walked 2, and he was really dominant. I mean, Colin, talk about what you thought you saw against Brewster in that Raiselman start.
All I saw was not a lot of offense from the Whitecaps. He was outstanding from the get-go, attacked every single hitter he faced, it seemed like.
As down on 3 strikes goes Soretti. Big cut, he cannot get any of it, and Raiselman is hot early. 1 batter, 1 strikeout.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we saw last Sunday. He went after guys, able to strike out Soretti on 3 pitches to begin the ball game. It's been really special what he's done since he's come to the Cape, and really been an outstanding first couple of weeks with the Mariners.
First pitch to Jake DeLeo, misses for a ball. He pitched 5 hitless innings, scoreless innings, yet was not given a decision because at the same time the Mariners were also held scoreless. So ultimately no decision, but ultimately did still have an excellent outing. He is behind in the count here to DeLeo. DeLeo, the center fielder for the Anglers. Count now moves to 2-1 on a called strike. DeLeo so far this season batting .203. He's got 14 hits in 69 at-bats, 2 doubles, 7 RBI. He's only been walked twice. It's a 2-1 count here. He has struck out 19 times as ball gets away from Raiselman on the mound. Throwback from catcher today, Brendan Tinsman, was not well received.
Yeah, DeLeo, you said 203 on the season, but really rough stretch as of late. Just 1 hit over his last 7 games.
As has been the issue at times for Chatham when it comes to generating offense. Only a few guys who have really been able to put up good numbers for these Anglers at the plate. 3-1 pitch does run inside. DeLeo will walk. The second man is on here for the Anglers. Let's take a moment to run down the Anglers starting lineup. Danny Soretti was the leadoff man. Jake DeLeo just walked down to first. The right fielder Matt Hogan bats third. The designated hitter Max Romero Jr. bats cleanup. First baseman Lyle Miller Green bats fifth. The third baseman Kenny Lavari bats sixth. The left fielder Garrett Martin bats seventh. The shortstop Josh Rivera bats eighth. And the catcher Dominic Tamez bats ninth. It's a fresh count to Matt Hogan, the right fielder. Man on first is Jake DeLeo. First pitch to Hogan. Misses for a ball. Let's introduce you to the Harwich defense. It's a 1-0 count here to Hogan. Doing the catching today for Raiselman is Tinsman. Pitch misses up high. It's a 2-0 count now to Hogan. Carter Putz stands on first. Matt McDermott stands on second. Josh Hood at short. Brock Wilkin at third. Jake Lazzaro's out in left. Chris Newell's in center. And Press Kavanaugh will be operating out in right field tonight. 2-0 pitch. Raiselman finds a way in. 2-1 now the count.
We talked about DeLeo struggling. It's been the opposite as of late for Matt Hogan, who prior to last night's game against Hyannis, hit safely in his last 6.
Good to have some consistency, and Chatham, a team that has won a few games recently. They did take 2-1 pitch, misses down low, 3-1 count now to Matt Hogan. They did take 2 big games, one against Brewster, one against YD. So you talk about trying to keep pace in the East. It helps to win those games, keep the guys ahead of you from getting more points. Also picked up a game against Hyannis since the last time the Mariners faced off against these Anglers. This ball is fouled up above our heads, heading back towards the Gaga pit behind home plate here at Veterans Field. Chatham, their one loss since Harwich faced off against them. It was a 7-6 defeat at Lowell Park in Katuitt. That was this past Friday. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Hogan. Second strikeout of the game for Raiselman.
It wasn't looking too good with Hogan drawing 3 balls ahead in the count. controlling the at-bat, and then Raiselman comes back and attacks him with a couple of fastballs, can't catch up to it. Huge out number 2, considering the danger that looms at the plate in Max Romero Jr.
That's really what sets a guy like Raiselman apart, where if he does fall behind in a count, the at-bat is certainly not over. He will find a way to battle back. Of course, now Max Romero Jr. steps in, takes a first pitch, called strike. Romero Jr. so far this season for Chatham, batting .250 out of Vanderbilt. 9 for 36 on the year, 6 RBI, 3 doubles. Does have a home run as well. Jake DeLeo still stands on first after his walk. Raiselman another called strike. Count now moves to 0-2.
Tim, that home run that Romero Jr. hit was last night against Hyannis, the big swing to put Chatham ahead and hand Hyannis their 12th straight loss, 4-1 win.
Yeah, it has been tough going as DeLeo heads down for second. Does not matter. Max Romero Jr. goes down swinging. Eric Raiselman strikes out 3 batters in the bottom of the first inning, and he's looking good once again here in Chatham. We'll be back at the top of the second inning in just a moment. Don't go too far. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Back to baseball here at Veterans Field. Josh Hood, Brendan Tinsman, Jake Lazaro, each due up for Harwich. Hood, the shortstop today for the Mariners. He's rotated throughout that left side of the ballpark. He's played at shortstop, he's played at third, he's played out in left. So familiar with getting looks from that left-hand side as he fouls off the first pitch he sees from Tanner Witt, and the count moves to 0-1. Colin, 22 pitches in that first inning from Tanner Witt. What did you see from him?
Yeah, never good to throw that many pitches in your first inning as, wow, Hood got a hold of that one but ripped it foul down the left field line. But yeah, never good to throw that many pitches. Was able to get a couple of groundouts to minimize the damage, but yeah, he's got to be a lot more efficient in the second inning if he wants to go deeper than he did in the first start against Harwich.
Certainly so. As Hood asks for time, it's an 0-2 count here after he fouled that one off to tomorrow. And again, just 4 innings last time out for Witt. 0-2 count. Ball misses outside, 1-2. That's one of the things that these ball clubs are really looking for. You don't want to overthrow guys, of course, but being able to get guys who can go 5-6 innings help to give the bullpen a chance to bridge the gap to the end of the game is a huge asset. So that's what all these teams are really trying to find in guys. As Hood grounds one over to Rivera at short, throw on to first in time, 1 away.
He's doing a nice job keeping the ball on the ground since giving up that rocket of a double from Brock Wilkin. 3 straight ground outs since then, so maybe trying to bring that ball down a little bit in the zone. So far, so good for Tanner Witt.
Now you have the catcher, Brendan Tinsman, out of Wake Forest. Tinsman so far, 1 for 3 in his one game at the plate. Played in that shootout in Hyannis. He's ahead in the count here, 1-0.
Yeah, Tinsman, a guy who had a really strong freshman year at Wake Forest where he belted 10 bombs. Power numbers kind of decreased since then, but a good opportunity here at the Cape to show that he still has it.
1-0 pitch misses up high, 2-0. I don't know if the fine folks over at Wake Forest have come up with a similar catchy nickname for Brendan's home runs, as Brockets have caught on. 2-0 pitch is swung on and missed, 2-1 count.
Yeah, you wonder if it might have something to do with, tin or something like that. I don't know. What's something that is made of tin that goes a long way? That'd be a good way to describe Brendan Tinsman when he cranks a ball.
We'll figure something out. 2-1 pitch misses low and inside. It's a 3-1 count now. Ball hit on the ground, just foul beyond the third base bag. Quick reflexes from Kenny Lavari over at third, spinning on after picking it up in foul territory. He was ready to launch that thing over, but of course, ruled a foul. Tinsman still stands in the righty box, and Witt stares him down. The 3-2. Misses down low. So that's the second walk of the game issued by Tanner Witt, this time with 1 out.
Again, trying to keep the ball low to the Mariners. That time a little too low on the payoff pitch, and Tinsman able to show off his discipline. Already a couple of walks drawn so far for Harwich, first time through the order.
Now you have Jake Lazaro, who's only had so many at-bats across recent games. Across the last 10 games for Harwich, he's only played in 5 of them. He's had 7 at-bats. First pitch dealt to him is a strike. Called strike at 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, good to see him showing a little bit more confidence at the plate. Been primarily used as a pinch runner for Harwich, but Lazaro's starting to take advantage of the at-bats that he does get.
The 0-1 pitch. That's in for a called strike. Lazaro finding himself behind now, 0-2. Witt placing some nice pitches. That last one at 91 miles an hour on the lower outside portion of the plate to stay ahead in the count. Witt, as mentioned, his only other appearance this season against the Mariners, and late time called. The pitcher Witt was currently in his motion. As time was called, Lazaro stepped back all the way to the grass outside of the dirt that surrounds home plate. 0-2 count. Lazaro chops it. Witt steps up to play that one. Throw on to first is in time. That will move Tinsman 90 feet. He now stands on second with 2 away.
Yeah, just able to generate some weak contact. Lazaro just trying to put the bat on the ball with 1 out, 2 strikes on him, and at the very least is able to move that runner in scoring position, and comes a very important first at-bat of his CCBL career for Matt McDermott.
Exactly, Matt McDermott. Cape League debut right here, right now. Playing out of Coastal Carolina. Recently joined Harwich after playing for the Vermont Mountaineers of the NECBL. He's ahead in the count, 1-0.
Yeah, they play all the way up in Montpelier, the state capital.
McDermott going to Coastal Carolina, having just played for William and Mary. 1-0 pitch is fouled up. Tamez, he's got some room. Cannot make the catch. Ball stayed playable for Tamez. Tried to go with the basket catch, keeping his glove down around waist level. Instead, it drops just off the tip of his glove, and Chatham could have gotten out of the inning there. The at-bat stays alive for McDermott.
He got under it, just didn't realize how much room he had. He did have another foot or so before coming up against that wall, but it is a brick backstop, so got to be careful if you're a catcher, aware of that, and Tamez just hesitated for a little bit, took his eye off of it.
1-1 pitch in for a called strike, this time a bit higher in the zone as Witt offers. It's now a 1-2 count here. Brendan Tinsman stands on second. Witt stares back at him, delivers, ball in the dirt. Tamez able to keep it in front of him. That will keep Tinsman on second base.
Been able to stay dry here this afternoon, but as the evening rolls in, still very overcast here in Chatham.
Most certainly is. Feels like rain, but forecast does not allude to any. So we'll have to wait and see. 1-0 pitch is pulled foul just over the Anglers' dugout. Count stays at 2-2. That's 40 pitches now for Tanner Witt through an inning and 2/3 work. McDermott batted .289 as time is called here, I believe, by McDermott. Time called here, batted .289 for William and Mary on the season. Swings and misses to end the inning. That is strikeout number 2 for Tanner Witt. We move now to the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Lyle Miller Green, Kenny Lavari, and Garrett Martin due up for the Anglers. We'll bring that to you in just a moment. Don't go too far. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network.
Lyle Miller Green.
Welcome back to Veterans Field here in Chatham. First baseman Lyle Miller Green will lead it off for the Anglers. Miller Green in a bit of a rut right now. Has had 12 at-bats across his last 5 games, has not recorded a hit. He is certainly down at the moment as he takes a big wave and a miss on the first pitch at 92 miles an hour from Eric Raiselman.
Yeah, very inauspicious from a guy who comes into today tied for second in the Cape League and runs batted in with 17.
A 1 pitch sliced out to right field. Kavanaugh able to trace it. Makes the catch, 1 away.
That one was just bad luck. He squared it up pretty well, but didn't slice far enough away from Kavanaugh, who's in right field today with Jordan Beck getting the day off for the Mariners. Kavanaugh, of course, usually a left fielder, but this time around out and right. Doesn't seem to be causing him any issues. He tracked that one really well.
Kenny Lavari steps in now for Chatham. Lavari fouls the first pitch he sees back from Raiselman. That one at 94 miles an hour. Raiselman really some excellent velocity early on. Of course, struck out all three batters he faced in the first inning. Or pardon me, not exactly true. Did walk Jake DeLeo. Struck out Soretti, Hogan, and Romero for each of the 3 outs in the top of the inning. It's an 0-2 count here. Swing and a miss. Down goes Lavari. Strikeout number 4 through an inning and 2/3 for Eric Raiselman.
And another 3-pitch strikeout, so another efficient one for Raiselman, just like the one he had to Danny Soretti to begin the ball game. 4 strikeouts already. Looks like those coaches down at LSU have to be what they like, what they've seen so far from Raiselman here this summer.
First pitch dealt to Garrett Martin, who now steps in, the left fielder. That misses 1-0, and certainly an excellent job by LSU being able to find Eric Raiselman. Of course, we'll see how he fares in the SEC, but to be able to perform at the level he has in the Cape is certainly a testament to the skill that he has. He is behind in the count, 2-0. 2-0 pitch is a called strike. Now 2-1.
And for LSU, they're entering a new era. Jay Johnson, the new head coach, after the longtime Paul Manieri era, starting in 2007 and continuing through to this past year and LSU's NCAA run.
It's now a 2-2 count after Martin had a strike against him. Raiselman steps and delivers. That pitch gets away from Raiselman. Tinsman behind the plate tried reaching across his body. Ends up on the right side behind home. Now a full count here. He got him. Down goes Martin. Strike 3 swinging. That is strikeout number 5 through 2 innings of play here from Veterans Field for Eric Raiselman. We'll bring you the top of the 3rd inning in just a moment. Don't go too far. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network.
We appreciate and thank the Chris Newell.
Welcome back to Veterans Field. Chris Newell leading it off for Harwich. Harwich now all the way through the lineup. Newell last time around walked, ended up stealing second, and came all the way home to score on an RBI double from Brock Wilkin. Tanner Witt still on the mound for the Anglers. Newell swings at the first pitch he sees from Witt and falls behind 0-1. Let's take a glance at our out-of-town scoreboard. Brewster currently leading Wareham in the bottom of the 8th inning, 8-4. Bourne leading Cotuit in the top of the 6th inning, 3-0. Falmouth is trailing Hyannis in the bottom of the 6th inning, 2-0. That one at Gov Fuller Field. It's a 1-1 count here to Chris Newell. And YD has put on some kind of comeback. They were behind 8-3 against the Orleans Firebirds, and they now lead it 11-9. Those Red Sox look to complete the comeback, and they are ahead, so trying to make that happen. 1-2 count.
Running out of daylight, though, and out here in Chatham, the sun is almost set, so you wonder if this bottom of the 7th inning might be it, and if that's the case, maybe a de facto walk-off is in order for the Red Sox.
1-2 pitch. Newell fans and misses. Down he goes swinging. Strikeout number 3 for Tanner Witt.
Witt's got that strikeout pitch working. Obviously, Raiselman with 5 through 2 innings, but he's quietly picked up 3 strikeouts, settled down considerably after the RBI double from Brock Wilkin, and this is a good opportunity for him to get some revenge facing the top of the Mariners lineup that pushed home that first run of the ball game.
And now you have Press Kavanaugh, another strikeout victim tonight of Witt. Struck out swinging back in the 1st inning. That was the first out of the game.
Got a quick update from Red Wilson Field. YD, 11-9 they lead.
It's an 0-2 count now against Kavanaugh. And that 0-2 pitch misses up high. It's now 1-2.
And you have to imagine that's probably going to be it, Tim. I don't see any way they get another full inning in at this point.
Certainly could be so, as right around 7:40. Not sure what the cloud coverage looks like over at YD, but whenever you have a lengthy game like that where you have runners coming across nonstop, of course that game's starting at 5 o'clock, coming up on that 3-hour mark with still 2 innings left to play. 1-2 pitch swung on and missed by Kavanaugh. That's 3 straight strikeouts dating back to McDermott in the 2nd inning. And that is 4 strikeouts on the night for Witt. He has collected himself a bit after that 1st inning. These past 2 have looked good for the righty from Texas.
Has to be refreshing for manager Tom Holliday, a pitching staff that has ERA north of 8 against the Mariners this season. So far, strong through the first 8 outs.
First pitch to Wilkin. That misses down low. It's a 1-0 count.
Of course, the one guy he hasn't been able to have success against, this guy in the batter's box.
Wilkin did have the RBI double last time up. The 1-0 pitch to him misses up high. It's now 2-0.
Not only that, he took Witt yard the last time these two teams met.
Of course, did so in the 1st inning. There's that ball that just squeaked past that left field foul pole, depending on who you ask. 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss from Wilkin. He was trying to send it to that exact same location. Can't find any of it. He's still ahead in the count here, 2-1.
As we talked about it, that game has gone final due to darkness. YD stealing an 11-9 victory from Orleans.
Big cut from Wilkin, now 2-2. As that reminds us to take a look at the standings. We will save those for the next half inning, as we are potentially a pitch away here from top of this one, closing out. It's a 2-2 count here to Brock Wilkin with 2 outs, nobody on. First 2 batters in the inning have each been retired via K. And that one runs in on Wilkin, nearly misses the left hand of the righty. Full count now.
A 93-mile-an-hour fastball coming up and in on the hands. Not a place you want to get hit at all. Not a whole lot of protection.
Full count pitch. Wilkin sends it out to left. Under it is Martin. And that ends the inning. 1-2-3 go the Mariners. We'll bring you the bottom of the 3rd inning in just a minute. Don't go too far. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network. Welcome back to Veterans Field here in Chatham. Josh Rivera, the shortstop, leading it off. Looking to find some success here against Raiselman. Raiselman has struck out 5 of the 7 batters he's faced to this point. He has allowed a walk. That was to Jake DeLeo. This is Rivera's first at-bat, as the Anglers are yet to get through the lineup. We will see Soretti in this inning, as we will Dominic Tamez. It's a 1-0 count here to Rivera.
I'll have to go back and check. It's been a long time since Eric Raiselman has surrendered.
This ball hit on the ground to McDermott. Throw on to first, as Colin Casey was really trying to test the broadcaster's jinx. Luckily enough,
I didn't finish the point, so I think I was able to save it at that point. But yeah, he's just been so unhittable over the last now 7+ innings that he's pitched since his first outing, and he's really come into this starter role so easily. It's been a smooth transition from him being a bullpen arm for this team.
big wave from Tamez as he now steps in from the righty batter's box, the catcher today for the Anglers. And so that is now the past 6 straight batters retired for Raiselman. A 1 count, misses outside, 1-1.
The velocity's been especially good, hitting 93 right now. He had one as high as 95 last inning, so really popping that mitt.
Really does have some excellent velocity. 1-1 pitch, hit on the ground. Wilkin fields it at third, throw to first, in time, out number 2.
That's now 7 in a row retired after dealing a 1-out walk in the first inning. It's just making it look so easy. That's how it's been for this Harwich Mariners pitching staff over the last 7 or 8 games. They've been outstanding, especially the starters.
Certainly have been. Another name that comes to mind, Trey Dombrowski, as he has looked excellent. Of course, I mentioned Danny Wilkinson. He did pitch quite well last night. Struck out 5 for the Mariners, but of course was not the starter, as was the point, Colin, you were making. But I think it really extends to the bullpen. This whole pitching staff has just been lights out. A 1-1 count here. It's the 0-1 pitch missed down low on Soretti. He struck out back in the first inning. Pitch misses outside, 2-1.
And back to Wilkinson. Mentioned he struck out 5 batters. He only faced 6 batters total. Went 2 innings, getting the save, struck out the first 5, got a ground out to end the ball game.
Ball hit up the middle. That is the first hit of the evening for the Anglers. They now have a man on first with 2 outs in Soretti.
A good job by Soretti there. Not trying to do too much with 2 away, just a smooth swing. Doing his job as a leadoff man, albeit there are 2 outs in this inning, but better late than never. Chatham looking to break through in the run column, trailing 1-0.
Jake DeLeo, center fielder, got on with a walk last time. He's standing in. And he takes the first pitch ball. That is 39 pitches now for Raiselman. It's a 1-0 count. Steps and delivers. And for a called strike, he really is not afraid to go after guys. Like, you will see it where guys who are behind in the count, wherever they are in the count, they'll try to pick at the corners, they'll try to get guys to chase, but with Raiselman, he just pounds the strike zone. Pickoff attempt back to first. Unsuccessful as Soretti gets the laundry dirty.
And that's a common theme for Mariners pitchers. I think that's something that pitching coach Steve Grunberg is really enforcing. Don't be afraid. Don't back down to these opposing hitters. Go right after them.
Big cut there from DeLeo. Can't find any of it. It's a 1-2 count.
Obviously, you know, it can be intimidating facing some of these bats in the CCBL, but it's a mutual feeling for the hitters. They're going up against some of the top arms in the country.
Certainly so. 1-2 pitch misses outside. Tinsman has to step out to his right to block that one from getting to the backstop and allowing Soretti to advance down to second. He stands on first still after that two-out single up the middle. 2-2 the count, 2 outs. Rieselman looking for K number 6. Fouls off over the dugout. Goes over the Mariners dugout along the first base side. We'll do it again at the count, even 2-2.
Another game falling victim to darkness. Brewster continues their hot streak. Whitecaps 8-4 winners over the Gatemen.
2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Down goes Jake DeLeo. That is strikeout number 6 for Eric Rieselman. Mans is hot. We'll move to the 4th. Mariners lead at 1-0. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back into Veterans Field, Mariners fans. Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, including new majors in sport and recreation management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science online at www.curry.edu. And now for the play-by-play for the next 3 innings, my broadcast partner, Colin Casey.
Thank you, Tim. Check swing and going around is Carter Putz to lead off the 4th. Putz 0 for 1 with a ground out, his first time up in the first inning. Tanner Witt working from the windup, and he skips another one in. Count now 2-0, or 1-1, I should say.
Yeah, I believe they took a second to get it all straightened out on the scoreboard here at Veterans Field, so conflicting messages. We're all on the right track, though. 1-1.
Pitch from Witt. Breaking ball misses down and away to Putz. Putz, one of several Notre Dame players on this roster. A common connection that the Mariners have had over the years. Putz hits this one hard on the ground to third once again to Lavari, but his throw is wild and it pulls off Lyle Miller-Green at first. So score that one in E5, and the Mariners have a base runner to begin the 4th.
Yeah, you take it when you can get it if you're Harwich. Lavari, his first game on the Cape, so trying to get settled in with some action here. He did make a play, in fact, last time Putz was at the plate. Putz did ground out to him before, but second time around, Putz able to get the better of him as throw really was just, it felt rushed. It was pretty tight to that third base line, so did not have a lot of time to make the throw over.
Dylan Phillips into the box. First pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Phillips out of Kansas State. Looking to bring some of the power he had out there to the Cape. 0-1, big cut, and they say he got a piece of it, so count will still be 0-2 nonetheless. Phillips, a rising junior. Omaha, Nebraska native.
Have to imagine he's been to a few College World Series.
No question about it. I'm sure most people who live in Omaha have at least gone to one game as a 0-2 misses outside. I mean, how could you not? Really great facility they have there for the biggest stage in college baseball. Putz takes his lead off first. The 1-2. Flare just over our heads, foul. Look out.
That just split the uprights between two fans. Gotta keep your head on a swivel here, folks.
Yeah, their backs turned. As soon as they turned around, the ball was by them. Count still 1-2. The pitch waved at and missed. Phillips fooled badly on that breaking pitch. That is strikeout number 5 for Tanner Witt, and the first out at the top of the 4th.
Yeah, Witt's looked good. Witt has looked good. I mean, if not for the E5, there'd already be 2 outs quickly in this inning, and that is strikeout number 5. So he's keeping on pace with Raiselman a bit here. As really, again, it was that first inning, a bit of an issue with the walk and the double, but some excellent pitching since then.
Runner going. Josh Hood hits this one on the ground deep in the hole at short. Rivera with a long throw, or no, he's going to eat it. Thought about it, but too much Hood coming down the line. It's too much speed coming down the line for Josh Hood. It'll be an infield single, and the Mariners have 2 on with 1 out.
Yeah, that's another part of this Mariners game, this team's kind of skill set that we don't talk about that often. They do have some speedy guys. Hood's pretty quick, and of course you have a couple other guys as well. Lazaro with some excellent speed later in the lineup, as Putz did go for second. A guy who's not afraid to get a steal in, so an excellent job by him there on the hit and run.
Yeah, the only play would have been at second, but with Carter Putz in motion, no chance of flipping that the short way. First pitch fastball blown by Brendan Tinsman for strike 1. Tinsman, no official at-bat yet, reached on a walk with 1 out in the top of the 2nd. Already the 3rd walk Tinsman has drawn in just his 2nd game.
I was about to mention a patient batter.
Swinging here, though, and he blasts one down the left field line, but it is fouled. Mariners had a lot of those in the now 13 innings played here at Veterans Field. A lot of balls hit down the left field line. Very deep, but they just haven't been able to square it up. Of course, the one exception is Brock Wilkins' home run in the first inning the last time these two teams played here, and even that one, not sure if it was fair.
Yep, most certainly.
Controversial first inning home run for the Wake Forest Demon Deacon. Breaking ball 1-2 misses high to Tinsman, a teammate of Brock Wilkins at Wake Forest.
And I imagine that has to be a huge help for Tinsman to be able to come in and be on a team with a guy who he's already teammates with, helps him get acclimated quickly.
1-2 breaking ball misses inside. Of course, the Mariners, like I mentioned earlier with Notre Dame, strong connection with Wake Forest as well. A number of guys on that 2019 roster, including some guys that got drafted, Bobby Seymour, Antonio Menendez, to name a couple.
Including a current Whitecap.
That's right. Chris Lanzilli. Flare out to shallow right. It's actually going to stay on the infield. Infield fly rule in effect. Catch made by Cerati.
Yeah, I'm with you, Colin. That ball kind of came off the bat weird. It looked like it was taking out to right a bit more than it was, but it died and was caught at the outskirts of the infield by Cerati.
So with 2 on, 2 outs, great opportunity for Jake Lazaro. 0 for 1 with a ground out to the pitcher. First pitch to the Liberty Flame misses down and in. Lazaro, another guy who's changing teams this summer, formerly of St. John's. You'll see a lot of that throughout college baseball over the next couple of years with the new rule. Don't have to sit out a year after announcing a transfer. One of many changes to college sports over the last couple of months as time is granted to Lazaro.
And then, of course, exacerbated by the fact that you have that extra year of eligibility on top of it. So guys who would be done, who perhaps weren't going to get drafted, they're now continuing for another year, perhaps going for that Masters.
1-0. Lined foul back into the netting.
And that one just caught the top of the netting. Avoided another situation there where a fan could have gotten hurt.
Putts at second, Josh Hood at first. 2 outs in the top of the fourth. The Mariners lead at 1-0. Look at second by Tanner Witt. Now the pitch. No, he's going to bluff and fake a pick off to second.
And that's what's so tough about having a pitch with runners on, runners in scoring position, is now you really have to consider these guys who are on the base paths. Helps to have 2 outs. You can control what's happening at the plate, but you got to think about it with guys on first and second.
1-1 is a fastball right down the middle. Lazaro falls behind 1-2.
Nice pitch, 89 miles an hour. Lazaro didn't really think to swing at that one. And now he's behind 1-2.
Lazaro used as a pinch runner in each of the last 2 games he's appeared in. Gets a start today, and he swings and misses. Strike 3 swinging. 6 punch out for Tanner Witt, who has looked sharp, but he and the Chatham Anglers still trail 1-0 to Harwich. Head to the home half of the fourth. You're listening to Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network.